So the first studio that ever let me review for them was actually the Asylum, as you can see there. And the first movie that they ever sent me was Grimm's Snow White. This is, of course, the original tale in which it was told. Of course, everybody's familiar with the Disney one, but I really liked the box art for this. It's really quite cool. Like I said, this is the first studio that ever let me review for them was the Asylum. Many people now make the connection between the Asylum and Sharknado, but they've got a pretty good repertoire of little films. If you go past, they're more than just the Sharknado movies. They've actually made some pretty good little movies. And like I said, this is 2012. They sent this one out, and this was when they were actually still sending out physical movies. The other one that I found in some of my unboxing, I've still got a lot of my stuff in storage. Another one that they sent me was Abraham Lincoln versus Zombies. And that, of course, came out about the same time as Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter came out, that big studio release. That did quite well, so of course they had their own. But as you can see, it's just the disc that they sent me. But I've held on to these over the years because it's pretty cool to get these movies from the studios. The other studio that has sent me movies over the years is MTI Home Video. And they also are small studios, so they just send them out in the sleeves. They've sent, Blackout, Alien Storm, The Morning, Teacher Pact, Fatal Proposal, The Arsonist, Bloodwork, Dark Island, Ninth Floor Quest for the Ancient Relic, and a documentary on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, A Family Portrait. And these are all, as I mentioned, MTI Home Video. And so yeah, these are just screeners that they've sent out over the years. They also have gone to sending out links for their films. And the other studio is Epic Pictures, that is now recently just teamed up with Tread Central, and they've last year they had the really successful Terrifier. But these are films that they've sent over the years. The reason they're not sending physical DVDs anymore is because of licensing, because I'm here in Canada, and licensing rates have changed for a lot of pictures. They may have studio rates there in the US, but of course they change distribution here in Canada, so sorry, the camera seems to have moved or changed focus, but yeah, these are actual physical DVDs, as you can see here, obviously. And then the Patrol. I have quite a few others as well, but I'm still reviewing for Epic Pictures. But like I said, they don't send out physical copies to me anymore, because I'm up here in Canada and the distribution rates are different up here. So, but as you can see, Epic Pictures here, and Another great little studio that I've been reviewing for a number of years is Full Moon Pictures. And here we've got Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death with Bill Maher, Shannon Tweed, and Adrienne Barbeau. And these are all on Blu-ray. This has been remastered, and it's Bill Maher's first starring role, as you can see there. They also sent the remastered, digitally restored and remastered in 16:9 widescreen and 5.1 surround is Puppet Master 4. When puppets turn good. And this is what the studio is best known for, is their Puppet Master series. And of course, good old Charles Band, executive producer. Full Moon Features. When I first started reviewing or receiving movies from them, they were of course Full Moon Pictures. Some other ones that they've sent me over the years is Tourist Trap, remastered in high def. Creepazoids. Trancers. I'm sharing these individually because these are all, you get a glare back and they stack too high. But yeah, remastered in high definition, as you can see there, and it's Tim Thomerson and Helen Hunt. And this is the first Trancers of many. Jeffrey Combs in Dr. Mordred, remastered in high definition. And that's all the special features in that on the back. And of course you can go to Full Moon Direct. They now have a streaming service as well, very much like Netflix, but the difference here is Full Moon only has Full Moon Pictures and Wizard and their family selection as well. So very much like Netflix, but they have a lot of different titles as well. But it's within the family, within the Full Moon Features family. So you'll have Full Moon Features, and then they've got their own Grindhouse. And this is one they sent me, was a Grindhouse movie called Babes Behind Bars. And as you can see, this is a Grindhouse flick original. But they're busting out. It's one of those women in prison. So what this is just it's a blend of movies that they've had over the years. And it's got an intro by Charles Band. He always likes to do his intros and his behind the scenes. It was directed by Charles Band. And but yeah, this is another one of their films. But if you go to fullmoon.com, or you can go to grindhouseflix.com if you're looking for these kind of movies. And this and many more will be available to stream, like Netflix, at a portion of the cost. And they've actually got some bonus if you become a member of their streaming service. They actually give back to the subscriber, unlike Netflix. You actually get something out of it. Not sure what their current deal is, but if you go to their website or you go to their streaming service, it'll have all that information for you. So the other studio or small budget company that I've had movies sent to me for quite a while is Chemical Burn Entertainment, and of course it says Get Your Burn On. These were the first set of movies that they actually sent me. And what they do with each of the movies, or each of the sets that they send you, is they send a little write-up and gives you the image of the movie, and then they give you a synopsis. You know, like these came out in 2013, and you know, and they tell you how long the movie is. They give you a street date, you know, 4/1/2013 for 9 days, and then so yeah, one of the bigger films that they've had come from their studio was a movie called 13 Demons, and it actually had a good run on Netflix there for a while. I'm not sure if they're still playing it on Netflix, but it's actually a pretty decent little film. I actually know the director, Daniel Filecki, and yeah, congrats on him. But yeah, these are just some of the other movies that they've sent me over the years. Angel Maker, Serial Killer Queen, Above Us Lives Evil, From Jennifer. That's got Tony Todd in it. Bloodline. Shadow World, The Haunting of Misty Delane. 9 Days, as I mentioned. Accidental Exorcist. 3 Hours Till Dead. The Joe Show. Awaken the Devil. And All Sinners Night. And another one they actually sent me the actual physical disc for was Sloppy the Psychotic. Take a gander at Sloppy there, jumping out at you. It's coming to get you, folks. But that's a pretty twisted little movie there. Yeah, like you can see there, chemicalburn.org. And then there's their logo, of course. And, but yeah, they actually sent me the screener. And they sent me the physical DVD as well. So yeah. Another studio I started reviewing for last year was Dark Sky Films, and they sent me a physical copy of The Witch Files. They had also sent me a link for the film to watch, but yeah, I got that reviewed for them. This is a little movie kind of like The Craft. I remember that from the 90s. And yeah, there's the DVD. But you know, a lot of these smaller studios can't afford to send out the movies all the time. So they, of course, have also started sending secure links and stuff like that. The other studio that's been really good to me is, over the years, has been Wild Eye Releasing, and they've sent me quite a number of movies over the years. This is Sweet Leaf. It's a decent little film. These were sent to me quite a few years ago, as you can see, 2015. So, but you know, this one I just watched again last week or so, and this really goes back to the old school of stop motion animation. No CGI here, folks. Just good old stop motion, as you can see here. It says, remember the glory days of stop motion? Well, they're back. Horrormovies.ca. So yeah, if you like stop motion and you can appreciate smaller films, this actually isn't a bad little movie. We also have Murder University. You know, like I said before, this is actually one of the few studios that actually still sends out physical product, because they own the movies outright. So here we have Raiders of the Lost Shark. You know, if you like your shark movies, I'm sure this one won't disappoint. B-movie awesomeness. I have another one called Mold. You breathe, you die. Has director's commentary. Here's a really trippy one. It's called Memory Lane. This is kind of like a Back to the Future, if you will. So yeah, like some die to forget, he dies to remember. So it's almost like a Flatliners, Flatliners kind of trip. It's kind of along that line. Yeah, it was pretty good. I quite enjoyed it. Another one. Here's another zombie movie, Plague So Pleasant. This was actually pretty good too. Quite enjoyed it. I reviewed that on my blog when I first got it a couple of years ago. But this is just a shout out to the studios that have been, you know, sending me stuff. You know, this 2015. So yeah, like 4 years ago. Sent me that. So some of the newer ones that they've sent me recently is they sent me Inhumanity. I just watched that a week ago, and this is a really well done little movie. She's really good in this, Darcel Daniel, and Diana Rose actually had a bit more to do with this movie behind the scenes. But yeah, it's about a serial killer. This crazy guy on the front here. He plays the serial killer, and they're trying to basically wipe his memory clean from all of that. Essentially, is basically what it's about. But there's of course some darker ideas, and there's some, you know, some people that aren't always exactly like they say they are. You know, we'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to give away too much. Another one here was Animalistic. Be honest, I wasn't too big on this. This is kind of like what's the movie? I'll Spit on Your Grave. But I don't know. It never really took off for me. I couldn't really get into it. Some people liked it, as you can see here. There's some definitely, there's a comparison to I Spit on Your Grave and Last House on the Left. It's definitely in that same realm, but I don't know, it just didn't really go for me. Then we have The League of Superheroes. I have yet to check this one out. I don't know, it's kind of like a Green Lantern guy going on here, but maybe like the Green Fly. And, Superwoman and Wonder Woman here. Kind of rip-off. Yeah, and then you got a Skeletor looking dude back here. So yeah, looks like it's got a bit of everything for everyone. Another zombie movie is called Dead House. I really like the artwork for this. It's got a really cool cover. Again, from Wild Eye Releasing, and looks like a pretty intense gore fest there. But yeah, and then last but not least is Predator World, and this of course has Chauncey Phillips, who's best known as Cool Duder on here. He has a small part in here. He said these scenes were shot just like a week or so before he started his weight loss program. So he's still the size he was when he was the size, that doesn't matter. But yeah, this one I haven't checked out yet either, but I'm going to soon be getting to those. And so the other people I'd like to acknowledge are some of the filmmakers that I've met over the years that have reached out to me over time. Some have sent me physical DVDs, movies, whatnot. A lot of them, because they're small films, only send like online movies. But this is the Italian Zombie Movies Part 1 and Part 2 by Thomas Berdinsky. And the added bonus here is Sasquatch versus Aphrodisias. This is a great little short film. If you like low budget films, this is definitely not it's not one for everybody, but I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was fun for what it's worth, And then another guy that sent me his movies is George Robarts. He sent me his first movie, a comedy slasher kind of film called Pizza Shop the Movie. There's a little studio card that he had made up. That's not just tomato sauce on that pizza. So yeah, and then there's the physical DVD that he sent me. And then he sent me his latest movie was Phase Redemption. He sent me the screener of that, and that's a good little story about a woman who's on her deathbed, and just coming to terms with where she's gonna go when she passes. And dealing with the angels and the devils, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's as you can see, George has a lot of credits here, based on the original screenplay by George Bartz, and he's got a lot of different talents, and he's got you know, some good people on there. Debbie Overby, Robert Belfort is also, who was also in Pizza Shop. He's in this, and you know, Kathy Blaze Jefferson. You know, they're all, you know, like Robert is, you know, like I said, he's in Pizza Shop, the movie as well. So then there was Mark Lewis sent me his movies. This was his first release, was Bay State Blues. And that's a nice little movie. I quite enjoyed. He sent that to me after his other film, but yeah, it's definitely worth checking out if you have a chance to see it. Don't know how readily available it is because it is an independent film, so hopefully it gets some exposure. And his other movie was Wild Girl Waltz, and that I quite enjoyed as well. And Mark was nice enough to send me both the Blu-ray and the DVD, as you can see here. But yeah, that's quite a neat little thing. So we can watch it simultaneously if I want to. Another one sent to me by James A. Ward. It's his little film called The Hit Girl, and this fellow here is actually a hitman, and he finds he finds a enchanted statue, and is brought back as this young teenage girl who is a hitman. Well, or as the title says, The Hit Girl. So yeah, that's quite a fun little film, and James was nice enough to send me that. And then Lawrence Lanning sent me his documentary about the Hollywood Theatre in Vancouver, Canada here, and that was a small repertory theatre on Broadway. And this is his documentary about that theater. It's only 36 minutes long, but it's a good little a good little film about a great theater. Something else that I got to be a part of was back in 2012. This has allowed me to be a member of ACE, or American Cinema Editors, as it tells you there. And this is the member card for this year. This was for last year. This was for 2017, 2015, and 2014. And this leads up to what I'm going to show you next. So this is some of the movies that I was sent last year. I've been receiving them since 2012 when I did my articles. And then, of course, they've been sending them digitally as well. This is from Warner Brothers. And they had a few movies that they sent. The later ones, The Mule and Aquaman, and that were released on the service. The date of initial release in the theater. And then Spider-Verse, and also got the Front Runner pretty well about the same time. So the other company I review for is October Coast. They're a PR group based out of California. And one of the more current releases is called Crossbreed with Vivica A. Fox and Daniel Baldwin. They have cameos in here. It was basically to lend the film. Vivica actually plays the president of this small planet. And it wasn't a bad little film, actually. Quite enjoyed it. This is some more current releases. Tangent Room is available from Epic Pictures on March the 5th on video on demand. And it's basically a bunch of people that are locked in a room and they have to solve a riddle. Not like Saw, but they have to solve a code. And you have to break the code to be able to escape, as it says in the poster there. Also coming next from Level Films is a small film called Firecrackers in theaters March 29th in Toronto and Vancouver, Canada. That's about two young girls who kind of escaped their fate of what they've been dealt with, maybe a younger generation of version of Thelma and Louise. And next we have To Dust with Matthew Broderick. He plays a man who works in a crematory, and this other man is trying to find out how to do that because he wants to do that with his deceased wife. And that comes out March 15th in Toronto only. These last two films are theater only, and they'll be video and DVD later on in the year. Thanks for listening, and talk to you next week.